Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shifts. My name is Michael Ojuola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want to talk about conflict. All right, how to help people resolve their conflict by not also being engaged or engulfed in the conflict. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. The biggest conflict in helping someone with a conflict is trying to avoid any conflict. The biggest conflict in helping someone with a conflict is trying to avoid any conflict. I want you to sit with that for a moment. This means that if you've ever tried to help someone to move through a difficult situation, if you've ever been the listener, the encourager, the coach, the spouse, the friend, then you already know how complicated it gets when you care deeply, but you are afraid to confront them clearly. You want to help, but you don't want to hurt. You want to support, but you don't want to stir up any shit. You want to speak truth, but you want to avoid triggering them. You want to walk beside them, but not walk into a mess with them. And guess what? That is absolutely natural. But it is also limiting because real help requires honesty, brutal honesty. Honesty that brings heat. Because true, honesty sometimes brings heat. Let me say it straight. Avoiding conflict is not the same as maintaining peace. All right? Hear that and hear that well. Avoiding conflict is not the same as maintaining peace. We confuse those two all the time. But when you avoid hard conversations to keep things smooth, you are actually allowing dysfunction to grow under the surface. You are watering what should be weeded. You are preserving silence instead of pursuing healing. And here's the hard truth. Some of the most loving, supportive, life-changing moments come wrapped in confrontation. And if your version of helping someone is built on making sure you stay comfortable, then you may not be helping them at all. You might just be protecting yourself. Let's just clear something up right away. Conflict doesn't automatically mean combat. All right? Conflict doesn't automatically mean combat. Conflict simply means two things are not in agreement. That's it. That's it. You don't need to be combative when you are in conflict with someone. All right? It could be two values that are clashing, two expectations that are bumping their heads, two perspectives that don't match. And when someone is in conflict, internally or externally, they are already torn between two things. There is tension between what they know, what they feel, what they've done, and what they wish they could do. Now, when you show up to help, you are stepping into that storm. All right? And if you enter the storm trying not to create any waves, you are not really helping them settle the sea. Okay? You're just trying to make sure you don't get wet. Now, here's where it gets a little bit real. When you avoid necessary tension in the name of help, you are doing four things. Number one, you are creating fake peace. All right. Number two, you are delaying their growth. Number three, you are creating a pattern of shallow support. And number four, you are training yourself to be passive. Number one, you are creating fake peace. You say the right things, you smile, you nod, you let them vent. But deep down, you know something needs to be said. A truth, a boundary, a hard reality, a challenge. But you leave it alone because you don't want it to get awkward. Congratulations. You just traded truth for temporary quiet. But quiet is not peace. It is just delayed disturbance. And then you delay their growth. Sometimes the growth someone needs is inside the confrontation they are avoiding. And you might be the only one in position to say what needs to be said. But if you back off, if you protect their comfort over their character, then you leave them stuck. Growth often comes through friction, and we all need someone who loves us enough to risk friction. Do you understand me? And then you create a pattern of shallow support. If every time someone comes to you, they leave feeling heard, but they were never held accountable, eventually they will begin to use you as an emotional escape room. Not a transformational space, but an emotional escape room. You will become their comfort zone, not their growth zone. And then you will find yourself wondering why people keep repeating the same issues over and over again. Same stories, same chaos every time they come to you. Why? Because you never interrupted the pattern. You just listen to it. And then you train yourself to be a passive person. Helping people while avoiding conflict becomes a habit for you. You train your voice to shrink when strength is required. You teach your courage to stay quiet when challenge is needed. You become skilled at silence but poor at substance. And worst of all, you begin to apply that same avoidance to yourself. You dodge your own truth. You sugarcoat your own habit. You bypass your own internal tensions because you've trained your spirit to believe if it is hard, then you avoid it. And that is dangerous for you and for your friends or for anybody that is around you. See, speaking truth is not aggression. It is precision. I want to be clear on that. I'm not talking about being rude here. I'm not saying you become a bulldozer of truth, crushing people with correction. I'm not suggesting that every conversation needs to be confrontation. What I'm saying is this. Truth given in love is still truth. And if the truth cannot be spoken without offense, then someone's maturity is underdeveloped. All right? Your job is not to fix people, but your presence should not enable falsehood either. So if you are called to be a help, be real. All right? Be a real help. Be real help. Don't babysit emotional patterns. Don't avoid calling things out gently just to keep the relationship easy. No. Don't pretend confusion where clarity is possible. Let your voice be clear. Not necessarily combative, but be clear. See, helping someone through a conflict without avoiding necessary conflict takes wisdom. It takes emotional intelligence. It takes the right heart. All right? Do you understand me? And there is a pattern, there is a way you can do it right. Number one, ask. Don't accuse people, just ask them some questions. Instead of, why will you do that? Just ask. Help me understand what you are thinking when you did that. These questions open people up. Accusations, on the other hand, will shut them down. Don't aim to pain them. Aim to pull them out of their confusion. All right? Reflect. Don't react. Repeat back what you hear them say. Clarify. Use their own words to mirror their situation. This will help people to see themselves even clearer than when they are caught up in the emotion. For example, so you're saying you knew that was risky, but you felt pressure to go ahead anyway. Is that right? That is not judgment. That is precision. And be willing to get uncomfortable. You must accept it may get tense. There might be silence. There might be tears. There might be resistance. All right? But don't run from it. Sometimes that moment of discomfort is the very pressure point where breakthrough begins. Your peace doesn't have to come at the cost of their transformation. Do you understand me? And tell the truth no matter what. Tell the truth, but leave room for ownership. Leave room for accountability. Say what is needed, but don't force them to receive it, okay? Let the truth hang in the room. Let it breathe. Let them wrestle with it. They may reject it today, but that seed is already sown. You've already planted it. But when the time is right, that seed will germinate. It will sprout. Do you understand? It will sprout. Now, what happens when you are the one in conflict and someone tries to help you? Do you make it hard for them? Do you reject correction? Do you resist tension? Do you require comfort more than clarity? If so, then you are doing to others what you don't want them to do to you. You say you want growth, but you treat confrontation like betrayal. You say you want truth, but only if it sounds like praise. You say you want support, but only if it is your own terms. Growth doesn't work like that, all right? If someone risks discomfort to lovingly point something out, don't punish them for their honesty. Reward them with humility. And that is how you mature. And finally, this week, it's important for you to hear this, all right? The next time someone comes to you in conflict, don't aim for comfort only. Aim for clarity. Don't protect your peace at the cost of their growth. Don't fear the tension. Step into it with wisdom. And when you do, you won't just help them. You might free them. All right, you might also